Seth Rollins crashes to earth with one of the most famous RKOs ever, ending his quest for victory. A statement win for Randy Orton, but Seth Rollins wasn't done yet. Later that same evening, Brock Lesnar would take part in a match that had another surprising conclusion. The WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Brock had Seth Rollins crashes to earth with one of the most famous RKOs ever, ending his quest for victory. A statement win for Randy Orton, but Seth Rollins wasn't done yet. Later that same evening, Brock Lesnar would take part in a match that had another surprising conclusion. The WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Brock had used his victory over Undertaker at WrestleMania 30 to get a championship match. History made with Seth Rollins leaving the main event of the greatest cash-in ever, and only proves that Seth Rollins has always been the visionary. WrestleMania has always been the place where the impossible's made possible, where dreams become a reality. And that was never more apparent than at WrestleMania 35 in New Jersey, when for the first time in its history, WrestleMania was main evented by the women of WWE. Ronda Rousey arrived in WWE like a tornado, first impressing in her debut at WrestleMania 34 before steamrolling her way to the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam 2018. The former MMA champion looked unstoppable, using her wide array of throws and arm bars to hold everyone at bay. As Survivor Series approached, Becky Lynch, now SmackDown Women's Champion, would be set up to compete against Rousey. Unfortunately for Becky, she'd be replaced by Charlotte Flair after Becky was taken out of action following an inter-brand brawl on Raw. At Survivor Series, Charlotte would show a vicious side in a disqualification loss to Rousey. Becky, however, wanted this fight more than anything. At the 2019 Royal Rumble, Becky Lynch would enter the match in someone else's place, ultimately winning it all by eliminating, you guessed it, Charlotte Flair. But before everything could be finalized, more bad news for Becky, as an injury to her knee led to her not being cleared to compete at WrestleMania, and WWE would replace her with Charlotte Flair. Becky would not sit by and just let that happen, however, and ultimately got her championship. The surprises were not done, though. Shortly before WrestleMania, Charlotte would shock the world of sports entertainment by defeating Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and now the match would be winner takes all, meaning the winner would be both Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. Three of the most talented women on the roster look to dazzle the world in the first ever women's main event at WrestleMania. Can you go out there and be the last kicker we all know Becky to be? Or will Charlotte and Ronda prove to be too much for you to overcome? Time to show everyone who really is the man. Ronda Rousey was the obvious target for Becky and Charlotte, but Ronda immediately whelmed Charlotte and Becky with her blitzing offense, but Becky was able to compose herself quickly enough to avoid another Piper's Pit, leaving Ronda on the defensive early in the bout. On a night that saw Seth Rollins run through Brock Lesnar, the final battle of Triple H and Batista, and Kurt Angle's last match, the occasion belonged to Becky Lynch, who ended the night holding both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships high above her head triumphantly. A moment that truly will live forever. Now we jump ahead to WrestleMania 36, the only WrestleMania in history with 0 attendance, a record, and the first to take place on both days of the weekend. It also featured one of the most bizarre matches in the event's existence, the Firefly Funhouse match between The Fiend Bray Wyatt and John Cena. Cena won a hard-fought match against Wyatt at WrestleMania 30 in 2014. A heartbreaking result for Wyatt, who could not handle the failure. He'd rebuild, capturing the WWE Championship, discovering his inner Fiend, and also capturing the Universal Championship. But he never forgot about the pain of that WrestleMania 30 loss. So when Cena showed up on SmackDown after some time away to announce that he would not be competing at WrestleMania 36, The Fiend took the opportunity to persuade him to reconsider. A simple point to the WrestleMania sign was all that was needed to signal the challenge, with Cena tipping his cap to accept it. Wyatt would lay out the conditions. John Cena would have to venture into the Firefly Funhouse if he wanted this match, where he, The Fiend, would be waiting. Not one to ever back down, Cena remained unfazed. Sure, he didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but he had to trust in himself and his skills. Skills that had delivered a victory over this man before. But he knew that this was not going to be easy, and that he was walking into the base of the enemy. And without the voices of the WWE Universe to cheer him on, Cena would have to face the mind games of The Fiend alone, and hope that he was strong enough to survive. But it's up to you to break Cena down and show him that in the Firefly Funhouse, there is no one as powerful as The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Yowie wowie indeed.